Okay, so it's not just like us that sees it. It's
Oh,
like,
hello!
you are the murderer. It's always the butler.
I'm actually thinking about it. He's gonna be like fake Japanese. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is, I can't pronounce these Japanese names. Ah, I'm so English. Satoru Hasunaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival.
So, French restaurant.
Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. I really should.
I think that...
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years... Oh, we're just gonna ignore that? Alright, cool. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime scene occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants in X. They are really piling on to like... we're Japanese and we have no idea what Western culture is yet. Oh my god. 3 days ago... I don't know what a restaurant is, but okay. Hasunaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. Of course, sir. At once, it is as the butler says. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. But then how am I going to play the game? Perspiring here, but... Perspiring, maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush... Wait, did they say 2 p.m.?
Yeah, 2 p.m.
Okay, maybe that's just a Japanese thing, but, like, that would be the time in question to have lunch.
That it is. It is,
yeah, they have,
we
have
eat.
earlier lunches.
Mm-hmm.
And we still had 3 tables occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. I clearly remember exactly 3 tables. I mean, I remember it a lot clearer now because there was a murder that happened, of course. There was hardly anyone else in the place. No blood that time. We're off to a good start. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. Bang! A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I couldn't have done it because it was a close-range bullet. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair, and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused. I'm so enthralled. Like, how the fuck are we gonna get out of this one? Because I'm starting to think we actually did do it. Like, what the fuck? How did he get shot and we had the gun? Is this some Invisible Man bullshit? Where just the fucking knife cuts across her throat in the middle of the restaurant and grabs into our fist. Hold on, let me clarify something here. Well, I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the... The murderer was invisible! I didn't shoot him! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. What? The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruto. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness and look on dramatically as the wind blows through our headbands. But
dude, I'm sweating here. How are you getting... You're hogging all of the wind.
You're hogging all the wind, Kazuma. If I may confirm one point, waiter, even though I told Naruto not to interject, I'm going to interject myself, because fuck you! Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see in here in court today? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
Just me.
It was me. No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Oh, wait. What did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. He's lying! When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Wait a second.
Really?
Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? So, as an Ace Attorney player, I know that we get a time to do a cross-examination, but I think this game wants us to interject right now. I'm just not sure.
Do you want to save scum it?
I don't care.
Yes!
Yes! That sounds so awkward. It probably would sound way more epic in Japanese because it would be, "Hi! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table." Objection! So where did she go then? Did she hide under the table? Actually, maybe?
That's possible.
It's so dumb, but I mean, for this series, maybe. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hasanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. Note how I said that part in orange. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it.
Your eyes were covered, so I don't believe you.
He was Kendo Akari posing, so obviously he's lying. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Why would you... Well, actually, I've worked in a restaurant. That's absolutely plausible. Okay. So it was. I was gonna be like, oh, he's got a sketch of like where everybody was sitting and such, which sometimes they do that. I worked in a buffet, so we didn't do that, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Let me see. Sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume.
That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, there's going to be something on the front of the business card that's going to be relevant for later.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone.
Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter.
Yeah, you definitely fucking did it.
Mm-hmm.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. He has tuberculosis. He really needs to go to a hospital. I'm gonna fucking check it first chance I get it. So! Brace yourselves! The court has now heard a precise of the... What the fuck? Someone that localized this game had a thesaurus, got a thesaurus for their birthday, and they loved using it. They were really happy about it. They were like, "Oh, I better use this to make sure my my friend's present doesn't go to waste."
From the moment the gunshot was...
I've had like fucking 4 words I've never seen before already, and we're like not
One of
even
them
an
I thought
hour
was a
again.
spelling error.
Yeah.
The moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruto.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as an unsworn... Sorry, I got an itch.
And sworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. Yes, the President of America is visiting us here, and he was at the scene of the crime.
Wait, who was the president during the opening? Was that?
So it's the start of the Meiji era.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check. Meiji era, Japan. 1868 was the start of it. So if we're just going off of that, president during 1868. Andrew Johnson? Holy shit, that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say 1868. Like, his uniform looks too modern.
Wait, no, it's not. Wait, what?
They just had to have their borders open up, so I assumed this was.
Okay,
all...
Wikipedia says it was Grant.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So 1868, the election year. Johnson was president before the election, and then Grant was voted in, which of course makes sense because Grant was the general that won the Civil War. Okay.
But is that really the time frame that this is taking place?
I would say this would probably take place during Grant's presidency. He was in office for 8 years. So if we're going off of this, like our idea that 5 years, so this would be like his second term.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fuck it, I can just look it up. What year does The Great Ace Attorney take place in?
Here's a summary from less than B greater than Ace Attorney less than B greater than Wiki fandom.
For 1897.
Oh, is that what it said?
A free DLC pack for the first game has the year 1897 written in early drafts, but this is not used for the timeline. So...
Because the dress, when we saw earlier the people coming off the boat, it looked like early 1900s.
I'm getting into spoiler territory now, so I'm just gonna stop looking at it.
Okay, that's fine. That's what. That was the only reason.
Oh,
I asked.
actually, yeah. Let me do this. When did Japan open its borders?
Here's a summary
Yeah, so about that same time period. So if we were to say this takes place like 1860 or 72, or 73. That would probably be the most consistent timeline with what we've seen so far. We're not even through the first case yet, so that might change. Because obviously we got a certain character coming in that's gonna fuck everything up. I know, but like with the information we've been given so far, I think
the Grant. We've spent so much time trying to figure out who would be president. Yes. Okay, so Ulysses S. Grant, general of the Civil War of the North during the Civil War, and president of the United States. He was there during the scene. Or he went back home though, and obviously he can't possibly be the murderer.
He said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck this shit," and the entirety of the Japanese government said, they shrugged their shoulders like, "Wow, there's nothing we can really do about that." What do you mean? You have to accuse the President of the United States of murder. Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Fuck you. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Miku. I said it perfectly fine up to this point. Miko Toba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead. If I push this, I will cry. Shut the fuck up and grow up. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Oh, another thing to mention is that the Ace Attorney series, the main games. So this is probably gonna fuck up the timeline a little bit. The technology at play is early 2000s, while the games are where we're at. I think the first one takes place in 2018 or 2017, and the last one takes place at 2025.
But
they're still using VHS tapes and
so it's like an alternate universe where that's as far as we've advanced.
The technology is different, yeah. Point.
Indeed. Prosecutor Aruchi, please continue with proceedings.
Very well. You were warned. The young can be so reckless.
You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Oh no, I'm so scared.
Ugh.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. Tip-tap. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
But I thought you said there were only 2 people in there.
Wait a second.
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once.
There's only one other person at the table. These are probably people that were in the restaurant.
Is that Hitler?
Shh. He hasn't been born yet.